We are here with Magda, the Hoardmaster. 2 mana 2/2, mono red. Whenever you commit a crime, make a tapped treasure token. It can happen once each turn, and then you sacrifice 3 treasures and you make 4/4s, which is pretty cool. There's scorpion dragons with flying and haste instead of regular dragons. I don't know if anything cares about them being scorpions, but that's pretty cool. You would imagine because they're a scorpion, they might have death touch. A lot of scorpions do, but they don't. Irrelevant regardless. So, we make a bunch of treasures with ordinary treasure cards, or we just target our opponent and their face and their stuff with a bunch of spells, which also gives us a bunch of treasures. Relic of Progenitus and Scrabbling Claws can be spammable crimes, right? You just keep targeting your opponent. It's also really nice to target your opponent on your turn and your opponent's turn, so it keeps going back and forth like that, which is pretty useful, I think. Goldspan Dragon, probably, now that I'm thinking about it, might not want to be in here. Actually, yeah, I actually don't like it. And the reason being is because I'm not using the treasures to then cast really expensive things or anything. It's just making treasures and making dragons with them. And a 5-mana dragon is kind of weird sacrificing treasures to then make a dragon that makes treasures. I'd rather just make the dragons for free, actually. So yeah, there is a different way to build this. You can build this in a way that is a bunch of big, expensive, like kind of a big red deck, and you use the treasures to cast really expensive things, right? And you can also play quite a few of the same 1 and 2s, just a lot of burn spells that Magda loves to see, and then, just cast really expensive things. But currently I'm trying a build that just wants to make 4/4s, which might be a little too reliant on Magda's survival, but Magda does a moderately decent job at paying for itself when it dies, because it creates treasures, and you don't like to spend your own treasures doing that, but it's better than not being able to ever cast it a second time, right? So that's nice. That's about it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Now, I think I did put Stone Rain in here. Or I did for a second, at least. Yeah, Stone Rain is in here. There's a lot of ways to do this on turn 2, and even on turn 3, it's fine, right? Because Magda 2, Stone Rain 3, it's kind of not exciting, but it is a crime, and it's not the worst crime. I don't know. I think we can probably try it. There's probably enough ways to cast it early, and I don't hate it. Magma Jet is pretty cool. You get to play all these like kind of goofy burn spells and targeted things just because they commit crimes. Don't even really care what they do. Smelt might not belong in here, but there are plenty of artifacts. Smelting a treasure token still is a crime. There's a lot of treasures in this game, so if your opponent has a treasure they haven't used, they can sacrifice it in response, but this does not have to resolve to obviously smelt a treasure. It's probably not the best thing to do anyways. Field of Ruin, Demolition Field are crimes. That's why they're in here. We're mono red. If we were not mono red, I would not run these, but we are. I had the fetch lands because we have the Gate, which is a seek land, which then can find another spell, which is pretty cool. And that's about it. Mono red treasures make 4/4s. Let's go. DRC, Deface, Koth again. Fine, I guess. I don't know. There's not many vampires that they can scam out, so that's nice. At least, I guess. Actually, there's very few vampires that they can scam out. Sure. What does this do? When each attacks... Okay. I just lose a life when it swings. But this deck doesn't have to rely on Soren scamming in, like, some dumb giant vampire. So that's nice, at least. I would have liked to have seen another burn spell or something. Alright, I think I'm just swinging, right? Yep. Does this do anything? Nope. Alright. I wish I saw an artifact here, like a ramp spell or something. Okay, they didn't plus their Soren on this 1-2, which is strange. I feel like that would have made sense. Xander's Wake. Alright, well, we have to kill this now. Let's get rid of Deface. Inti is a really good draw, but so is Koth. So is Koth. Did they pay mana to play that? What does it look like? I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing this. This is actually blockers. No, it's gonna get shuffled. I'm plussing Koth. Or am I? Yeah, I am. Am I? Hold on. Am I? Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Am I? Yep. It's gonna say maybe it doesn't matter, but if I block here and then I plus again and make another blocker, I might be able to Koth Emblem, which doesn't just win me the game, but it is very useful to just get incidental 4/4s, so I don't top deck like dead cards with my lands if this game pans out very long or something like that. The emblem is better than not having it. This can sack a vampire to throw 3 damage, which we wouldn't really be too upset to ever see. But we are just in chump block mode. No DRC here. Absolutely trying to get this emblem. I could have maybe forced my opponent to commit mana to pump this, but I don't think that gets me anywhere in the long run. This, yet again, is not my opponent's commander. Okay, so we plus again. Xander's Wake is a stupid, dumb card, so guess I'm not using Koth to kill anything. Well, I don't know. Play this. Play this. Play this. And then Molten Impact or Double Chump. Molten Impact or Double Chump. This is kind of similar. There are no cards in this that screw me over. Alright, you need removal spell, and also it needs to be 1 or 2 mana. All my mountains are flame slashes. I deal 4 every time I play a mountain is the ultimate. Alright, Desperation Fling. Love it. Love the Desperation Fling. So I can swing back at Soren, but it's not lethal. I mean, Inti's attack... I mean, I could actually just minus on the Knight and probably be fine, right? No, not necessarily, because I don't want them to have more vampires to just deal with my stuff. I think I'm actually going to play this pre-combat here. And I guess I'll thin my deck of a land first. I'm not going to minus on this Knight, because I don't want to lose Koth for no reason. And I don't think there's any reason not to play this pre-combat. Let's swing here. Get rid of some trash. That was a very, 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 very good card. Okay. Don't have to do it now. Might as well. I did not commit a crime currently. I can commit another crime on my opponent's turn if I sacrifice this. But nothing in my opponent's graveyard matters anyways. Just don't care about that. Oh, this is going to be one of those grindy, stupid Xander's Wake games, isn't it? Where I just slowly lose because Xander's Wake generates infinite value. Because these cards exist for some maniacally stupid reason. I would also like to sack this Demolition Field, so I need them to play a land. Mana value +1, sure. Is this the part where they get like the perfect 1/3 off of this, Xander's Wake? Just immediate perfect 1/3? Or 3/1? It's a 3/2. No, it's a 3/2. It's a 3/2. Okay. Sure. Alright. I get to kill... I could have stopped that, but I also don't necessarily have to. I can make a... If I pre-combat... Okay, we're always plussing again. Always plussing. So I want to play Magda pre-combat, so when my other Magda attacks, it triggers their stuff here. So I can make a 4-4. Yep, I don't want this to die for free. Let's do that. Okay, that's a pretty decent draw. But what's really nice is they don't have a... when can I play this? How long do I have? Your next end step. I can cast it on my opponent's turn. Good to know. So I don't have to do it right now. Alright. Oh, wait. Oh, next end step. Oh, I do. Oh, no. Oh, I think I just blew the whole game. I also forgot to make a 4-4. I literally just didn't do anything. I just passed. I went into my, like, blue-white control brain and thought I had all the time in the world. I not only did not make a 4-4, I just full stop didn't cast my spell. Oh, I'm so stupid, dude. I can't believe I did that. I think that was like the most crucial turning point of the game, too. Unbelievable. I can't believe I did that. That's just unbelievable. That's just so embarrassing. Wow. I'm like beside myself now. Yep. I probably just punted this entire game. Just out the window. That is just abysmal. Whoops. None of what's happening right now should be happening. It's inexcusable. Okay, that is not the one I would have killed, but that's the one my opponent killed. That's weird. Can still win this, but obviously a lot more difficult. They did give... No, I can't Demolition Field. Magda's not in play anymore because I'm, again, an idiot. Well, at least Soren's dying. So let's swing here. And Inti is attacking, so I can put the counter on the dragon and kill their commander. And I pass. I can Demolition Field to make another treasure. I would kind of like to just see my opponent cast their commander again. Seemed to be the best thing they had available last turn. It doesn't kill my 5/5 anymore, so it doesn't seem nearly as appealing for my opponent. Alright, or I just lose to this. That works too. I don't know what they get here. I'm about to find out. It's probably very painful. I might just cast prisoners and get some cards out of my opponent's deck. Maybe that's better than anything else I could do. Yep, that is literally the best thing to do. I could also blow this up. This is annoying. Yeah, we should blow this up. It is like a value thing that I'd rather not continue to deal with. Okay, this is probably fine. All things considered. Still not feeling too good about my spot here. Whenever one or more creatures dies, draw short. And yeah. I make a 1/1 short. And we pass. Yep. That's actually a pretty decent draw here. It does mean I'm not triggering Inti. Maybe I should just trigger Inti instead. Alternatively, let's start with this. Swing with a second big dragon. I don't think I have a ground attack. They have a death-touching blocker too, so I probably do not have a ground attack. So it makes sense to just do this here. Does Inti have to swing? No, Inti itself does not have to attack. Alright, never mind. Not even upset about that then. Alright, Inti. Do degenerate stuff. Shrapnel Blast is very good. Let us Shrapnel Blast my opponent's... I mean, nothing my opponent has except this is kind of scary. I think I'm just trying to kill my opponent. So we're going to Shrapnel Blast face. Also, Xander's Wake triggers every time I cast a spell on him. I don't know why I would play this right now, but I also don't know why I wouldn't. Let's see if there's relevant things that I can find. I have plenty of mana. I'd rather not just pass a turn. Maybe use it. Okay, I didn't really get to use it. But I will poke you in the face. And pass. Okay, so Demolition Field is another treasure, and then this is a treasure on my turn, and then I can make another 4/4. We might come out of that massive mistake. Looks like we might really come out of it. The Xander's Wake cards at this point are no longer that big of a deal, which is nice. Like, none of these are super important. Super useful. Actually, what does the last one do? Lost life. Yeah, alright. None of them matter. So we're not too upset. I mean, they are... Some of them do allow you to fling with this so repeatedly, but I don't really care if my opponent's just casting their commander repeatedly. Okay, this is a scary card, but not in this instance here. Not in this instance. 5. No, it's twice as much. So everything basically has double strike. So this is 12. Chump. Swing, swing, block. Okay. Magda's probably no longer relevant, so I probably block one of these. Well, let's lead with this anyways. I want to commit a crime. Oh, shoot, I can't say that on YouTube. Can't say that one on YouTube. I'm funny. Looks like we were about to top deck Ragavan, too. Okay, so I can probably block with Magda, because if I have nothing else to do for the turn... No, we can just block with, like, this. Here, here. I could also just double chump, so my opponent can't actually net value from the Xander's Wake. If they get the 3/2 flash creature, it would be problematic. I can also quite literally just take 6, so maybe I just do that. Maybe I'm just concerning myself too much with the intermediate. Just let this be reality instead. I am presenting lethal in the air, but they do not have to block with the 2/4. I can Alpha Strike and then change how blocks are done. Can do that. Yep. My turn. Okay, let's make another 4/4. This Scrabbling Clause has just been so useful. So make another 4/4, and if I swing all out, they block. Let's see, they block and they block. They take 9. Swing, they block, block. 5, block, block. 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, Alpha Strike it is. It's up to my opponent to make the right decision here, not me. Math is for blockers. Let's put the other counter on... There's no breakpoint that's super useful on the ground. Well, actually, both of these kind of are. Okay, let's make this a 4/4. I'd rather not lose Inti too. Something like that. Okay, that was an incredibly, incredibly good draw. Wow, that was a disgusting top deck off the Inti. That was just so disgusting. There's a lot of that in my deck, though. There's a lot of things that would be really good. Any burn spell hitting anything, not just that card, is actually super useful. So they take 9 in the air, and then 2 more on the ground guaranteed at minimum. So Magda blocked by Knight, 1/3 chumps, and they take 1 in trample. That would not save them. Okay, yeah, I think this is the only way they can survive. At 1, we're tapped out. They're showing 7, 8, 9, 10. And there is no way for me to do anything. Alright. Can you put a counter on this? Whenever creature an opponent controls dies. So I am dead to land removal spell Fling Sorin. That does kill me. Okay, go to 4. Alright. Whew. Oh, okay, yeah, that's crazy. Super close game. Oh, what a crazy game. Alright, it's safe to assume our opponent mulliganed for 15 removal spells, as nothing else is relevant. I will play this, and not play my commander. Either of these are fine. I guess I'll play the one that my opponent can't reliably block if they somehow don't... Oh, they don't have removal. Okay, didn't expect that. Because this has menace. Nope, just the other really, really, really good card. Okay, we'll just cast, I guess, Koth here. Get our... Oh wait, can I not? It has to be a basic mountain? It does have to be a basic mountain, okay. So I can Unholy Heat the 3/2s. My opponent's got to be careful. I mean, I am mono red. You don't want to just die. Well, they just spent 6. Okay. Interesting. So, Magda and Lava Coil? Let's go get a mountain. I don't think I'm going to be able to ultimate this, but... So, Magda, Lava Coil. I see no reason to change my order of things. I don't care if Magda really dies, right? So if I play this tap land... Okay, yeah. I really want to play the Den this turn, but I might not be able to. Okay, I kind of anticipated something like that, but again, we still get our treasure token. We did commit our crime. I'd rather not spend a treasure token, but I don't know when I'll get... No, I'm just going to play this. There's no way I don't play this here. And I have to spend a treasure to do this. I think the 2 damage is worth it. I also get my treasure back, so it's kind of fine. I know I could have played an untapped land, but I really, really want to have Den in play. I think that puts our opponent in a bit of a pickle. I would have liked the second burn spell here to deal with this 1/1, but the 1/1 alone doesn't stop the Koth ultimate, which is dealing 4 with each mountain, which they know of 2 mountains, and they are at 9. The 3/2 is actually more damage for you than just taking the damage back, so that's kind of an interesting decision. Huh. The rats don't even... Oh, the rats don't block. I didn't actually have to kill the rat. Well, this is a rat, but I didn't have to kill the 3/2. I didn't have to kill the 3/2 last turn. This can't block. I could have just swung. And then I could have committed a crime on my opponent's turn by killing it on their turn. So I kind of messed that up. I did not realize these couldn't block. I would like a Desperation Mutavolt activation to, like, stop the Koth ultimate. I'll probably just block at that point. Flying, combat, sack, draw, transform. Alright, what's this flip into? Big Scary. Okay. Each player sacks a creature. Sure. They kind of need to fire up the Mutavault right now. Yep. And I will block it, because my commander is useless. What does this flip? Does it have haste? It doesn't. Alright, well, we're always cashing this in. I can play this right now. I think they're close to being dead, but they're not quite dead. Yeah, I have to kill this because it's got lifelink. And I send 4 anyways with the treasures. I just send 4 here. And then they go to 5. Or, excuse me, they go to 4. And now they're dead to the mountain in my hand that they know about. I think they were a little greedy with the second turn cycle of doing all the black market stuff. That was a little greedy. That was a lot of devotion, though. Alright, yeah. Hazoret does a good job at doing things, though. So that's nice. I have no idea what this says. Whenever a counter permanent, pay 1, make a servo. Target permanent. Okay, sure. I don't have a 1-minute spell, so I don't really want to hold off on casting Magda. That is a 2-2 haste, and they didn't swing with it. My opponent literally did not swing with this. That is really weird to me. I'm gonna get rid of Demolition Field. It's not the game for it, I don't think. And I guess I will play that. Just because, I don't know, it's pressuring my opponent. I don't need more red sources in play. This does not have haste, right? It does not have haste. Okay. Yeah, we're in a really, really good spot right now. But like I said, we have a ton of removal. I will spend a treasure to fire this up. Or park it in play. It's got first strike. It's scarier on board than my Magda. So, makes sense to me. What is that? That is a Boros Guildgate. Wow. Don't think a red-white aggro deck wants a tap land like that. Okay. There's no incentive to 1 or fewer, which I cannot accomplish. So, I guess I just swing. Obviously a treasure token. There's no crime to be had here. And I will hide the other mountain in my hand by plussing this before I play my mountain. It was a little unfortunate there. Could have maybe... It was a slightly weak turn for me. But if they just cast their commander again, I mean, are we really that mad? Alright, that is a 4-3, pokes me twice, and then probably goes after Koth. Okay, they didn't use it to attack Koth, which I don't think makes any sense. Okay, let's swing with Breaches. It's got first strike. And make a treasure. I can make a 4-4 whenever I want. My thing has first strike. They cannot block it. I think what we're going to do is race to the ultimate again. I might not have a lot of mountains to go with it, but that's probably fine. And I can use this to do not really anything. I can play this twice. I cannot play this twice. Okay. This has instant speed, though. So what I can do is, yeah, what I can do here is just cast Magma Spray on something, and then they can't attack with Tajik. And they're playing their commander basically leaves them dead. Right, yeah. Okay, we took out Underworld Breach because I don't amass cards, really. As I saw that last game, and I just added Reckless Impulse. It feels more like they're both kind of giving me value, except this one's way more upfront and doesn't need like a bunch of cards in my graveyard, which probably won't actually happen that often, and probably shouldn't have been here to begin with, so let's change that. Discard spell? Well, there's not really anything else this could be that would take this long to cast. People are very slow with their discard spells. But, I mean, if you're on mobile, you don't have a choice. Okay, my opponent took the card I never in a trillion bajillion years would have taken. Interesting. I can still Spike Field this, right? Yep, we just cast this, and then we pass. Remember, I can commit a crime whenever I want. It doesn't have to be like right now. Black market connections again. The zombie can't block. I can Spike Field Jadar, which I think I always will. Commit El Crimerino, and then commit the Arcanist to be able to do it again. and then swing. And then we start making 4/4s here. I can only make it on my turn, but it does have haste. Where's their commander? They left their commander in exile. That's there's no way to get it out of exile. There are in graveyard, but so it was either a misclick or they just never in their, like, they just don't think they'll ever have it matter, and they just wanted to get rid of it. Not really sure. Because Relic doesn't exile it again. It's not moving zones when I target you again. Alright, we just did it. Yep, Underworld Connections. People are just paying 6 left and right. We are a red deck. The black greedy decks gotta stop paying 6 life. But even still, right, we do put them on the back foot pretty significantly, right? Like, look at, we already have 3 treasures. My opponent will probably never answer Relic this game, and it will just keep committing constant crime. And then, yeah, that's just it. Okay, so after the third game, I'm going to be taking out Mizzix's Mastery, just for the same kind of reason I'm taking out Underworld Breach. I don't expect an overload of things in my graveyard to, well, you know, overload. The games don't really last that long. It's possible to get to 8 mana, right, if I don't sacrifice my treasures, but I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I can sacrifice treasures instead to deal 4 to things, so I'm going to try Voltic Surge instead. So let's do that. I also took out that other card that I can't remember for another sort of, you know, exile the top cards, your library effect. I think we have enough cheap spells where we can reasonably, you know, play this a few times, so let's try that. This is my first green opponent. Lucky me. Alright, well, there goes my best card. Probably Fable the Mirror Breaker, because it is literally my best card. Look at that. At least they didn't take 20 minutes to figure it out. That's the fastest Thoughtseize I've seen. The fastest Thoughtseize in the West. Oh, excuse me, Duress. Fastest Duress in the West. It rolls off the tongue nicely, doesn't it? That's not a removal spell. What? Does that... Wait, this is not a shatter, right? No, it's not. Alright, they named blue, so let's take the green. You can have the white. Take the green. The green is probably better here. Fable cards were better overall. Because they're just cool cards? What do you mean? Do you mean sagas? Are you talking about sagas? This one's just called Fable, but most of them don't have the word Fable in it. Aren't you doing keys with Fatty and Cherry? Get out of here. What are you doing here? Sagas are really cool. A lot of them are actually pretty solid, too. I think there's a fair amount that are actually decent. I will just kill this. It commits a crime, and I'll just pay 1. Seems fine to me. And swing. Yep. Oh, look. It's almost like green is really important. I can't do anything except this, and I guess I will. They didn't give me a target, so I guess I just will. Alright, that's not ideal. Guess I can play this. Okay, it just resolved. There's no reason to... Yeah, alright. I can send the Spiteful at their face, but I probably won't do that. They can't effectively block with Atraxa, which is super useful. I can even do this 4/4 and get in for 5, and it's a 2-turn clock that way. Fiery Impulse deals 3 here. So I can commit a crime, and then I can do Spiteful for 1. Wait, what is this? Protection spell? Oh, I don't know. Alright, we did it. We just handedly destroyed Atraxa. I think the Stone Rain was actually kind of useful, too. Smelt is somewhat decent against this. I don't like smelting the gnomes, though. We can do better than this. We can do better than this. Oh, I can do better than this too. This feels really bad. Unless Inti survives, which I don't really care to find out. There's so much removal in my deck. Please give me like 2. Please. Get rid of this and that. There we go. Did it. Opponent has a 1-drop still. God forbid. Yep. I'd rather not Fiery Impulse it, but I probably have to. Do I Fiery Impulse right now? If I don't, it's going to be 10 years till I do, so I guess I have no choice. Inti is better than Magda here. Fortunately. I also smell a removal spell, so it would be nice for me to lose this instead. Nope, not necessarily true. This becomes a 2-3 immediately. Is the 1-1 untapped? I don't even know. Okay. Have to kill their commander. So, yep. Let's get rid of Honden. That is not a land. Love to kind of see that get out of the way in that case. Still not in a good spot, though. Okay. If you don't swing, how does this work? Okay, never mind. That's just not... It's not in any way how it works normally. Probably get rid of the Blitz here. Ugh, I don't even want to do that. Probably do, though. No, let's get rid of the Shrapnel Blast. Kind of gets in the way of making 4/4s. I'm also kind of doing damage to them. This is a moderately decent pressure. This is a mulligan to 5. I don't know the last time I won on a mull to 5, but I'm not feeling too bad about my spot. They missed their land drop, I think. I have another crime in the Field of Ruin, albeit a little bit of a innocent crime, but a crime nonetheless. Okay. I can put a counter here. So let's get rid of DRC. Or do we not get... No, we get rid of DRC. We're always triggering Inti. Yeah, we're going to swing like this. We're going to get rid of this. See if we find a burn spell. If not, I guess I'll just let them block. Okay, they just don't block. Straight up. Guess I'll play this and leave up my Blitz. I don't really care about the life gain here. I have Fiery Impulse and Strangle. I would love for them to just cast their commander. That would be huge here. Oh, I don't have Blitz mana. I don't have Blitz mana. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, that's really bad. Okay, fortunately my opponent took a turn off to play Cathar's Crusade. Playing the greedy route. Kind of like it, but it's also a bit sketchy. Alright, let's Strangle or Impulse. They're basically the same thing. Let's take this and get rid of the land. Let's kill the Phalanx thing. And I think they have to block 7, 8, 9. No, not necessarily, actually. Not necessarily. So now I have mana for this. I can Field of Ruin, make a 4/4. Okay, this doesn't really matter. I'll let that resolve. I'll let this resolve. A 1/1 counter doesn't change the math on this, so that's fine as well. Alright, they have nothing, so we should just win. Yeah, there's nothing here. There wasn't anything here anyways. I actually did not have to kill their commander, and I still would have won. Still would have won. Okay, so I took out some jank, added Zorn, because maybe doubling my treasures is worth it. This does cost 3, though, so that's a little bit of a tall ask, but you never know. And another, like, pseudo Shrapnel Blast, because it seems fine. This should probably be in here, and I'll probably put it in the list I link, but obviously I don't own it as a free-to-play player. The Twitch YouTube funds run this channel, and it is not in the works currently, so we're going to run it as is. I'd love for them to have no answers to it. Opponent immediately has the perfect penultimate answer. Why not? Why not? Let's be real. Okay, Magda it is. I do have an initial answer to this, and then I have no more. Well, I just need to swing with it. What? Okay, sure. That's interesting. Oh, this is a dwarf. Huh, that's funny. I guess I shock face. There's not really any other target for shock, so I don't imagine there's mana tithe in my future. Swingies. I can make it 4/4 now because I have a bunch of dwarves making treasures, but I'd rather do this and get a mountain. This means they can't just play... Okay, this... yeah, it's fine. I do not have double answer to Feather, which is the problem. I guess we lead with this. It still is a crime. Yep, this is the dumb, stupid part about Feather. Do I play a Lannery Storm, or do I make a 4/4, or... Sure. That's kind of surprising, actually. Let's blow up a random land. Commit a crime. I don't think this deck runs Wandering Emperor. I've never seen it run Wandering Emperor. But, that's neither here nor there. I don't see a reason not to at least make one dragon and just swing and see what happens. There's no way they're playing Settle the Wreckage. Okay, sure. I'm winning the damage race, so they have to do more than just give Feather protection, which can be maybe a little difficult. I guess I can play this. There's no reason to play Strangle here. There is somewhat of a reason to make another 4/4 immediately to block, but I also don't really care if my opponent's committing to attacking my Koth over and over. Yep, they just do this to Scry, which went to the bottom. I mean, swinging at Koth does not bode too well. Okay, sure. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus the dragon. Forcing a spell here doesn't have any use. I'm just not going to do it. Okay. That doesn't matter, I don't think. I think my opponent's dead. We're about to find out. So I make a thing. I give the Lannery Storm +3/+0 because I sacked 3 treasures. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They are dead. They don't have anything. Wow. That's insane. That's insane. I mean, maybe it's not as bad as I thought, but, like, Feather never being able to die is a huge problem for me. But I guess because of Koth, they couldn't just perpetually play defense with it, because then the Koth emblem would kill them with the mountains. Excuse me, with the mountains. So I think the Koth was super useful, and they couldn't buff this enough to kill it in, like, one shot or whatever. And they had to keep tapping their only creature in their entire deck to do this, but... yeah, this was a 4... I mean, it's always a 4-mana commander, right? It's been a while since I've seen a Feather deck, but I'll always remember how it plays, because it only does one thing. Okay, I'll get rid of, I guess, the spite. We can get rid of the four. No. Let's get rid of the. No. All right. Young Pyromancer much better than Magda right now, by quite a bit. Oh no! 1 of 25 removal spells. What will I do? Whatever will I do? I can commit a crime. I currently don't really have to. Oh, please minus it. Please minus it. Please. Oh, yes. Oh, we love that. We love those. We love those scenarios. Okay, Tegrid is annoying, but it's neither here nor there. Do we have even more answers? Opponent has had answer. Well, it could still be an answer. Sort of. I mean, I make a bunch of treasure tokens, so maybe it isn't. Swing with 4. Yep, no reason not to swing first. I could have even swung with that 4/4 as well, actually, but I didn't. I'm willing to cast Magda, so I will. Okay, they make it as a 4/5. And Despise is creature or planeswalker, so no value. Get Schmieded. I currently have no way of... This is 4. I can swing with both and trade Magda? Is my opponent going to block? They might not even block this. I was about to say, there's no reason to block this, actually. And then I... pass? These are both instants. 4... Yeah, alright. They didn't play the Lantern, so I'm not too upset about that, I guess. What does this do? Scry 2? Sure. Scry 2 on upkeep, too, so not all the mana in the world this turn, but there's not too much my opponent needs, like, more than 3 or 4 anyways. Make that 4. Reveals her hand, choose a non-land. They cleaved it, so they get to choose anything. I will just sack this to pump damage to the face. And I can just cast this for the sake of it, but it doesn't do anything. I don't know, I'll send a message, but it's going to get discarded. Wouldn't matter. Alright, they're down to 1 card. They are in essentially forced chump block mode. I can make a 4/4 attacker, or a 4/3 attacker. Okay, my opponent just let me do that. That's unusual. Don't think my opponent wanted me to be able to do this here. This puts them in lethal range of my manland, which they have to respect for the remainder of the game, so... I've been bullying Turgrid quite often lately. It's kind of funny. Usually it's like really bad to play against, but lately it has not been the case. Alright, this leaves you dead to my manland? No, it doesn't. Oh, it doesn't. Shoot. Can I... Oh, yes! I can just make a 4/4. I can just make a 4/4. I can just make a 4/4. Oh, I can Splitting Earth too? No. Oh, I can do both! Oh, I can do both. Oh, I can do both. Alright, there we go. No reason to, but send a message. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that is so awesome. Do I care? I don't think I care about their commander in any way. Do I play Diamond Pickaxe turn 2? I kind of, like, want to do that. No, we have Mishra's Bauble. We don't have to. We don't have to. This is the second time Ragavan on turn 2 has been perfectly answered. Of course. So, Spiteful Banditry on 2? No. We shock. Well, we swing first. We swing first, obviously. And then we shock here. I don't think I was going to equip the diamond pickaxe this turn. Don't think I'm even casting it this turn, actually, to be honest. Have to kill the thing here. So let's do that. Don't really care about this. Okay, well, that made that easy. That made that real easy. Alright, yep, we just bullied our opponent 6 ways a Sunday. This is a game that my opponent actually answered a Ragavan. Imagine they didn't do that. They would have scooped even faster, so... Yeah, Lightning Bolt, Perfect Dork, Protection Spell that must be answered, and then their commander, and we just had all the answers. Awesome. And they were on the back foot the whole time, too. Really clean game. Okay. So I really like this commander. Probably my top 3 in the set, OTJ set so far, Outlaws. I really like it. I think what it does allows mono red to be interesting instead of the normal, you know, oh, just play a 1, play a 2, play a 3, swing at your opponent's face, a couple burn spells. I really like how you can play kind of a longer game. Sometimes it actually expects you to play a longer game. Whether it's a big variant, which I did not play this time, I might play in the future, or the variant that cares about making the 4/4s. Both are pretty solid. It's pretty easy to commit a crime at least once per turn cycle. Oh man, this this video is going to be so demonetized. I've committed so many. I've said I want to commit a crime so often. I mean, I'm not monetized anyways, but this is probably a really good commander. I just like it. I'm surprised I've only played against it twice, and I think both times I beat it, it was just playing like an aggro thing, and then I stabilized, and they never were in a position to really create a bunch of treasures, which was kind of weird to me, but if you are focused on that, it is pretty solid. Some cards I didn't get to see, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's 100 card singleton, it's going to happen, but I didn't get to see how useful Zorn would or would not be. I liked actually all of the 4-drops, namely Koth. Koth is kind of funny and ultimates pretty quickly. I really like this. I like it so much that you might be able to play Karn's Bastion and ultimate this a turn earlier. I think you probably could fit Karn's Bastion in this deck. It is a mono red deck. There's not too many colorless sources already, so you're not screwing yourself too heavily. It's not a mountain for this, but that doesn't matter. But proliferating just for even a few cards is probably fine. Even Inti puts counters on things. Yeah, we probably want Karn's Bastion, which is kind of funny to say. It is funny. But other than that, the Manland never came up. Not really surprised, but I do like the Manlands regardless in a deck like this, where your opponent might stabilize at 3 or 4 life, and then you can kill them with them. It's kind of actually possible in a deck like this, which I do really like. I kind of wish you could crack this and make a 4/4 on your opponent's turn. I, in my head, thought you could a couple times. I stepped into the blue-white control side of my brain that dominates my entire brain. It thought I could end step this a couple times, and you can't. So you want to make the dragon immediately. Which, I mean, it has haste, so it makes sense, but something to make sure you're paying attention to. Committing crimes on your opponent's turn, and then yours, like both, is very good. I don't think I really ever got to do that. It is kind of mana and card intensive to sort of commit multiple crimes in a turn cycle like that. Also, your opponent needs something for you to target if you don't have one of these. Or the coding, right? This is like kind of the only cards that really do that. I have Honden, which never came up, but it would commit a crime every turn, which is why it's in here, right? It plays as though it is the green Honden, because the green one generates mana. This one generates treasure tokens with your commander and pokes something, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. The 1 damage is meh. Actually sacking your treasures pre-combat, it's never felt more useful. And I think it actually did end up killing somebody. Sacking 3 treasures, making this a 5-2, and then the 4-4 with haste actually killed somebody. Usually you don't sacrifice the treasures pre-combat. It's not usually how this card works out, but it did in this deck, which is really cool. Diamond Pickaxe is kind of expensive to equip, and there are not a lot of targets to equip it to. You can equip it to your commander, but then your commander also really has to swing to justify all the mana you sunk into it. You sunk more mana into this equipping than you did actually casting your commander. So I don't really know if I like it. If that's the case, I don't know if this is good enough in any deck ever. Like, if this is not a deck that likes this card, I don't know what is. But it is a mana-intensive card for a deck that likes to kind of stop its curve on like 2.5, 3-ish, closer to 2. So I don't really know if I like it. It is good when you get it to work, but I also don't have many creatures anyways. There's only 16 in 100 cards, right? That's less than 1 in 5. It's not the most reliable. I don't really have any evasive threats, and one of my threats, Ragavan, doesn't really need the pickaxe, right? So it's really hard to get the pickaxe to actually equip. I think the last game I played, it was an option for me, but I went with other options instead because it just never felt like a good idea to spend all that mana to sometimes make a treasure, right? So the core strategy of making dragons and committing crimes with red spells is extremely reliable. This is a 2 mana commander. If it was 3 mana, this is probably completely unreliable, but it is 2, and that is very massive. You have so many things that care about your opponent's creatures, especially the early creatures. I did not play against a lot of green mana dork strategies, which is the most common thing in this format. I don't know if they just put Magda against things that don't have that, or it's just anecdotal. I only played for like 2.5 or 2-ish hours, so I don't know about that. But if I think it was actually really good here. I think I went 8-2, 8-3. No, I went like 10-3 or something. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm old. You have to excuse me, but I didn't come against anything that plays a bunch of mana dorks. And if I ever did, I think I feel really fine against those. Smelt and Deface are useless. I'm going to actually take out Deface here. And a card I don't own, but you probably should run is the new card. You can probably run Blood Moon, honestly. You can probably run this. This does destroy completely certain decks. If you're mono red, I think this is perfectly fine. It's like your blue version of Rhystic Study. I think you might as well play this. It shuts off your manlands, but who really cares? There's a lot of multicolored decks out there that play a lot of non-basics. You can just auto-win with Blood Moon quite often. I don't own it, but this would probably belong in here. But the one I wanted to talk about mainly is Legion Extruder. This is 2 mana and commits a crime when it comes into play, which is kind of weird, but it's pretty useful that it does that. It commits a crime when it enters. They probably thought about Magda when they printed this, because Magda and this kind of came out the same time, right? This is the vault of the OTJ set. So it makes sense, but it comes with a shock, and then you sacrifice just 1 treasure to make a 3/3, instead of 3 treasures to make a 4/4 flying haste. So it is pretty useful, right? You can just kind of trickle in 3/3s. I don't know how useful those 3/3s are, but at the very least, it does shock something. So this might just replace shock in your deck, right? I mean, you can run both and take out something else, like this Pyromancer. It was in here to commit a crime. I don't think it's a very good blocker, not really the most aggressive attacker. It's just kind of like a generic meh thing, but it was under 3 mana that felt useful, but I don't think this was even all that necessary, honestly. It's probably one of the weaker cards. So yeah, I think I'd actually just put in Blood Moon there. But again, this is just for the list I upload. I can't craft them. I'm a dirty, filthy free-to-play player. My account is funded by the Twitch and YouTube and the Patreon. Which I'm not putting any real money into this. But yeah, I don't think you want Diamond Pickaxe. I like the turn 1 Strike It Rich, right? Anything that generates a treasure is relevant for your commander and just simply casting spells. Facebreaker sometimes is hard to trigger, but it does have Menace, and I have a lot of burn spells to clear up two blockers, right? Maybe one is really big, and they have a smaller one. I can maybe just kill the smaller one and be fine, but who knows. Breaches is kind of like my only pirate, really. So it's the only thing that triggers on itself, but it is a 3/3 first strike, which is annoying for your opponent, and can pretty reliably attack your opponent without feeling too bad about it. Blitz never really got higher than I think 3 or 4. So if there's a better burn spell, maybe you could run that instead. You don't really play a good top deck game, so what you have is what you get. And once you're out of spells, and this is your last spell, you're going to expect it to be, on average, anywhere from like 2 to 4. So I don't really know if I like that too much. This is not like a blue-red flood your graveyard strategy. So I'm not too big on this one. But it is a 2-minute instant speed spell that has the upside of dealing 10 damage, right? It's a better top deck turn 7 or something, I guess. But it probably works fine enough, I think. I think that's all I have to say about it. Everything else is just a generic burn spell, really. But yeah, I really think you need to run these two and the coding, because it just makes this very useful super early and Mox. If you don't own Mox and you're playing commanders that cost 1 or 2, this should be the first thing you ever craft in a mythic with a mythic wild card if you don't have it. All 1 and 2 mana commanders probably want Mox Amber, and things like Feather, because Feather really wants an untapped source when it enters. But yeah, other than that, I really like it. I can recommend this. This didn't feel necessarily like an all-in aggro deck, which I'm not a fan of playing anyways. Yeah, that's it. I like it. I can recommend it. It's above average, probably top 3 in the new set. So let me know what you thought about it. If you want to see me play the big variant, where everything costs 3 and up, and I just try to use the treasures to cast Inferno Titans, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.